Okay, it's time for the four functions here. The first one, you've got to look at that and go, I know what that is. It's a linear equation because it's just x by itself, 1/2 x minus 6. And there's a system for doing these things. I let x equals 0. I let x equal 0. 1/2 times 0 is 0. That makes y minus 6. That's called the y-intercept when x is 0. Now, the other thing I do is I let y equal 0 to find the x-intercept. So I let y equal 0, I add 6 to both sides, I multiply both sides by 2, and I get 1x equals 12. 12 and 0 is called the y-intercept. If I graph these 2 points and connect them in a line, I'll have a sketch the of the graph, and that's what it'll look like. The y-intercept's minus 6. The x-intercept is 12. You label that x, you label that y, the origin, and label the equation too. Y equals 1/2 x minus 6. Oh, by the way, that number up there is called the gradient, and it's got a gradient of 1 over 2. I left the blocks in here so you can see a rise of 1 over 2. The gradient's the number in front of x. But there it is, the line. You just have to let x equal 0 to get y equals 0 to get x, and graph the points, and you've got the line. You've got to know that when you raise a number to the x power, it's an exponential equation. And if you studied the exponential equations, they take off from a line that they never touch, kind of like a plane taking off from the airport. And the airport is y equals minus 5. But the other stuff is the same. You let y equals 0, and you get 1/2 x equals minus 4. That's going to give us the x-intercept. That's going to give us the x-intercept. That's actually the hard one to start with, but I did it anyways. We're going to add 4 to both sides. We get that. We get 4 is 2 squared. But 1 over 2 is really 2 to the minus 1. That's the trick of this question. And minus 1 to the x power is minus x. Well, now I'm looking at it. Minus x equals 2. And multiplying both sides by negative 1. The only way they can be equal is if minus x equals 2. Multiplying by negative 1, x equals minus 2. The easier thing to do is to let x equal 0. 1/2 to the 0 power is 1. Minus 4 is negative 3. There's the y-intercept. There's the x-intercept. But y equals minus 4, that horizontal line where y is always equal to minus 4, that's the airport it's going to take off from. And if you know your exponential equations, when it's 1/2, it's going to take off to the left. And that's why it looks like that. You graph minus 3, you graph minus 2, you put in, the only way it could work is if it was taking off to the left. If that's the shape of it, label your equation, label y and x, and there's your exponential equation there, or equation, function, all graph.